Yee, live. Hello, welcome everybody. So basically I recorded this video about 3 weeks ago, maybe, but I've just not had a chance to get around to actually editing the video. So at this rate, it's just going to be short again, and I want to get this up, a proper video. So it is Wednesday by the time this goes out, so it still will be Wednesday. So happy Wednesday. And basically, I just wanted to answer a quick question. It's not a long video. I just wanted to answer a quick question. I'm not going to do the full video because I've not had a chance to edit it, and I want you guys to hear this. So this is for anyone out there that's looking for writing advice and stuff. And sorry for all the heaviness of the background. Like, this is my new workspace, but I haven't actually got it all finalized and stuff yet. So just want to answer a few questions then. Just a couple of questions that I've seen answered in writing groups, or people that have just messaged me and said, like, how do you do it and stuff. So I thought I'd just give you a lowdown. I'm not looking at the camera actually. I thought I'd guys just give you everyone a lowdown on these questions. So just maybe it gives you a bit of help. So we'll just jump right in then. The first question is, do you name chapters? I don't personally. I see a lot of authors that still do it. So I think it's just, do you want to name chapters? If you want to name your chapters, name your chapters. If you don't, you don't. I have some chapters in my debut novel that I thought, actually, that'd be quite a cool name for that chapter, just because of what happens in it. No spoilers. But generally, I just didn't want to. So I don't. It's just a personal choice. But maybe in the future I will. But yeah, I actually think it's a good idea, even though I didn't do it. So yeah, if you're a first-time author and you want to get into the habit and you like naming your chapters as well, something extra to do, something more fun to do than just chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, like I've done. So yeah, I'd say naming chapters is a good thing, but again, it's personal preference. You don't have to do it. You're not going to get picked up by a literary agent or not picked up by a literary agent or publisher, etc., for not doing it or doing it. So yeah, from what I know, it's just basically your choice. Go for it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Second one, can I write the story by starting with the end? Now, I'm a pantser, so I just literally sit down and write. I have an idea in my head and I just go for it. I do very, very minimal planning, if any at all. But for me, I wouldn't recommend starting at the end. You're writing a book, it's your book. A bit like with the name of the chapters. If you want to start at the end and then the beginning and the middle, or start middle, end, sorry, start at the end, go middle, right backwards, go for it. I just think it's a lot more hard work for you to, to get where you want to go if you do it that way. Maybe if you're thinking about starting at the end, you've got this great ending and you've got your characters and that's set up. One thing you could do is plan it all out like planners do. That's not me, but that's not to say that it's not the right way to do it. I think actually if I was a planner, it would make my life a lot easier. But I just don't. I just have ideas and I just go with it. I wasn't planning on being a writer. I never studied to be a writer. I just decided a few years ago that I had this idea and it came to fruition and is now published. So if you want to start at the end, I would maybe plan it out, the ending first, and work out where you want to go. But when it comes to actually writing it, I would write it from the beginning, because I think if you start at the end, you're giving yourself a bigger headache. The ending is normally the climax of the story, but you're starting with it first. And I've never done that. I don't know anyone that has ever done that. So I'm not saying it can't be done. Anything can be done. It's your story, your book, do what you want. But I would recommend you start at the beginning and work your way through. This one is from Raquel. I don't know the name of the other guys that asked the question, so apologies. This one's from Raquel. It was in a writing group. And it's how long does it take to write your first book? And again, that's kind of a how long's a piece of string. I think if you're writing a book in 2 to 3 months, you'll be doing a lot more edits. I know some people say, "Oh, I've written a book in 2 to 3 months. It's easy." Cool. I wish I was. I wish I could do that. I can't. Mine took me about 3 years. I was on and off again, though. We had a lot of issues with family and work and the children and the wedding and stuff. So mine took me on and off, and it only was really when COVID hit in and I was stuck at home a lot more that I actually had time to sit down and finish it and send it off to the publisher. So I'd say, on average, from what I've seen, other authors, it's a fly, perfect, on the live stream. Hello, Fly, you're now famous. Freddie the Fly is now on the live stream. I think if you go by what you read online, most authors are sort of like, I don't know, somewhere between 6 and 12, 6 and 18 months. That's sort of a window. But again, I don't know if that's the whole process, including the edits, including it being perfect, everything done magnificently, beta read, getting ready to basically publish. That's including that, or if it's just a case of you sitting down and writing your first script. For me, It took me 3 years from the whole process, from the first idea to writing it, to getting it done, to sending it to a publisher, to get being accepted. That was 3 years. Obviously, then there was, making the camera mic shake there. That obviously then was another 6 to 9 months work with the publisher. So again, I'd say if you're going about 12 months, give yourself a 12 months time scale, and then maybe just see what happens from there. But don't be too hard on yourself. If you get it done really quickly, then you lose loads of edits because you rush through it. But then the other hand, if it takes you a lot longer, but then maybe you haven't got so much to do at the end. So don't worry about it. Just as a basis, maybe 12 months, but then see what happens. So this video is already longer than I planned it would be. So let's just crack on with the other few questions. So we've got, I'm great at drawing. Is it acceptable to do my own book cover? It is acceptable to do your own book cover, but I would recommend, unless you want it to look like trash, no offense, you may be a fantastic drawer, you don't have the qualifications or the skills or the experience to design a book cover. You could draw the most amazing picture, but when it comes to doing the book cover, not so good. So I would say, if you're really good at drawing, do up some mock designs, muck about with text and stuff, where you're going to put your name and the title and how it all goes on the book, draw the picture, and then actually get a cover designer, a book cover designer, professional. Pay the money if you're not going traditionally and you have to find a book cover designer yourself. Pay that money, get them to do it. Give them your ideas. Look, this is what I want basically, but I want it done properly. I want it all done to the correct sizing. I want it done to be absolutely amazing, so people think I've got a beautiful, beautiful worked book and it's not just a hash job that I've just jumped out. So come up with the designs, draw them if you want to, but get a professional to do your book cover. It's acceptable to do it. It's your book. Do what you want, especially if you're self-publishing, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would really advise against that, because I feel that it's just not going to look as professional as if someone who knows what they're doing actually does it, regardless of your skill level of drawing. I like to sing. Can't sing for toffee. If I was to write a song, as people may have heard my rap songs, if I was to write a song, they're terrible. I wouldn't release that. If I had a great idea for a song, I would give it to someone who could actually sing. So just because something's good in principle and can save you some pennies, don't do it. Don't skimp. Get the professionals in. Get the book cover done professionally. What have we got left? Who's my writing hero? Okay, we'll end on that one then, because the video's been quite long. And maybe I'll do another one of these videos in the future, because I did miss some out that I'd already recorded previously. So my writing hero isn't really, I don't really have a writing hero per se. I really like James Patterson and Stephen King generally. I think if in 15, 20 years time, I've got as many books out and I've got as many sales and success and people saying to me, oh, you're great. Oh, fantastic. I love your books. Like, oh, when's the next one coming out? I'm such a fan. Then I'll take that, James Patterson, Stephen King, I like reading fantasy and I don't write it. Sorry, that's my wedding ring. I've got, I love reading fantasy. So, maybe J.R. Tolkien, that just whole immersive world, there's just so much and it's so big and it's fantastic and every little detail is superb. So maybe Tolkien, but yeah, those are the guys I'd say I look up to. Mostly Stephen King and James Patterson, maybe a bit of Tolkien for some fantasy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I never dreamed of being a writer, as I say, so it wasn't something growing up. I was always involved in sports and I had quite a good, at a younger age, I was quite good at maths to a high degree. I was sort of doing like GCSE level maths at the age of 11. So couldn't tell you anything now, though. Not too bad at big numbers, times in big numbers and stuff and that, but I couldn't tell you anything else. So algebra's gone. I think I know pi just. Maybe not to the last number, but I know pi. So yeah, so no, I haven't really got any writing heroes because I never started at a young age. But I liked Roald Dahl as a kid. But now, if I was to look up at someone and say, like, I'd like to have the success they have and be as talented a writer as them, I'd probably look at Stephen King or James Patterson. Thanks for joining me. Again, this video was because I was too lazy to edit the actual video that I did. Well, not really. I just didn't have the time to do it with the new podcast, which I haven't mentioned yet. Check out the new podcast. It's called You, Me and Football. It's on every device pretty much. There's some smaller companies I can't remember the names of because I've not heard of them before, but I put it on there as well. But it's on iTunes, it's on Amazon Music, it's on Spotify. And yeah, you can find it in several places. Just go on to anywhere that does podcasts, search You, Me and Football. First episode's out. Second one's out shortly. And I've got loads of stuff planned for it. And we've got a fantastic panel that is on every episode. So yeah, come and join us for that, You, Me and Football. And thank you for joining me today. If you like this, let me know, and maybe I'll do another one of these in the future. Because I don't mind going live, especially when it's late at night, the kids are in bed, there's a bit of peace and quiet. I've just finished work as well, so I'm sort of like zoning out, chilling, killing. Yo, sorry, I watched a scary movie the other day. So yeah, thank you again for joining me. Have a great week. Enjoy your weekend. I'm having a barbecue tomorrow and some bouncy castle action. Boing, boing, boing. It's not going to be for the kids, it's going to be for me. So yeah, peace. See you soon.